So it looks like the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. Singer David is now being charged with first-degree murder. And we knew it was coming. It took a little long, but we knew it was coming. It doesn't look pretty good for him at all. So let's go ahead and get some more details on this. Video by Penguins, our boy Charlie. Let's get it.
I've actively followed the David case since the information started breaking 7 months ago, and I want to give you the latest update on it. So 2 days ago, most of you know, David was arrested following a lengthy investigation, but he wasn't immediately charged. He was held without bail, but they didn't announce any charges at the time. Today that has changed. They have announced the charges here, and if found guilty, they could carry a maximum penalty of life in prison or even the death penalty.
These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. That is first-degree murder with special circumstances. The special circumstances being lying in wait, committing this crime for financial gain, or murdering a witness in an investigation. These special circumstances carry with it, along with the first-degree murder charge, a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty.
Anyone who's followed this case even loosely probably isn't surprised to hear those charges being announced there. The evidence has been overwhelming. He hasn't been found guilty yet, but I gotta tell you, I think even Saul Goodman would struggle handling a case like this. And these aren't the only charges he's facing. There's also additional charges as well.
Before I get into
This is a sick man, first of all. In case y'all don't know, the girl was 14 when this happened. And he was 20. That's already a case in itself. Like, what are we wasting time for? But maybe they just want to throw it all on him. But what evidence do you even need at this point?
the actual charges, and there are additional charges against Mr. Berg, including continuous sexual acts, lewd and lascivious sexual acts with an individual under 14 years old, and mutilating a human remains of a body.
This case is about as disgusting as it gets. And again, it did take a while getting here, but I imagine the fact that they have now arrested and brought these charges forth means that they have sufficient evidence to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that David is guilty of these crimes for which he is accused. There is an overwhelming amount of evidence available to the public, by the way, right there at your fingertips. And even still, and I know I mentioned this in the last video, but I just can't get over just how bafflingly insane this is. There are David defenders. I'm talking about David drones that are constantly fighting tooth and nail, trying to proclaim his innocence, saying that this is all a frame job and he's been set up. Which is crazy to me, because no matter how you spin this, there is irrefutable evidence to confirm that at the very least, David was in a relationship with a child. And
right, let me get on that. So for the David defenders, I have to say, if you're defending this man, then you're a weirdo, man. You're a weirdo. This dude was 20 years old, and he got with the girl, I think, when she was 13 and he was 19. And there are a bunch of people out there trying to defend that crap and trying to say he's innocent. Like, one, it was already bad enough that he was with her. Let's get that out there. And two, she was found chopped up in the back of his car, or in the trunk of his car. Like, come on, man. Like, people like this need to be locked up, because I don't think there's any helping them. If you just really just attracted to young people like that, like, nah. What do you even do with that? It's not a woman. Come on, bro.
these dummies for David, this movement here, likes to plug their ears to that fact and just dodge it. But it's like trying to dodge the rain. It's impossible to overlook that because it is fucking vile. And it is not based on circumstantial evidence, which is the buzzword they love to use in regards to this case when defending David. That is provable that he was dating Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a child. And according to authorities, his motive for her murder was to protect his career because she had apparently threatened to report their sexual relationship. She was reported missing by her family in 2024 when she was 13, And according to the allegation in a criminal complaint, the singer engaged in continuous sexual abuse of her for at least a year from September 2023 to September 2024. And then when she was 14, they believe she was killed with a sharp object on or around April 23rd of 2025 when she was heading to the singer's house in the Hollywood Hills. This is the first time her...
So basically, dude freaked out because she was about to tell people that they were together, even though he already made songs about them being together, about their matching tattoos and stuff. But she threatens to tell on him. And so he freaks out because he doesn't want his career to go away. So he freaking stabs her and chops her up. That's how we moving nowadays. The love of money is the root of all evil, man.
Cause of death has been publicized. Her body was chopped into pieces and stuffed in the back of David's trunk, his vehicle's trunk. So it was especially difficult for authorities to figure out what actually killed her here, because her body was decomposing and in pieces, which is where that mutilation of human remains charge comes from. Now, I want to briefly opine on that motive they allege here in this case, because based on all available information, that does track. There are photos and videos of David and Celeste together, and members of his community knew about their relationship. Notably, some of his moderators were aware of it. Though, according to their own PR statement they put out to try and debunk the claims that they knew about it and said nothing, they defended themselves by saying that yes, they knew about her, but they didn't know her age nor her status as a missing person. I have no idea if that's true or not, or if they're just desperately trying to cover their own assholes there, but the point is, people did know David was in a relationship with this girl, and if she made a reference to letting people know her age, then it stands to reason that David would panic, fearing that it would jeopardize his career, which was blowing up at the time. And maybe in that panic, he took drastic measures and killed her in order to protect that from getting out.
Calling People versus David Anthony Burke. That's case number 26 CJC F02399.
Good morning or good afternoon, Your Honor. Blair Burke, Marilyn Bednarski, and Regina Peter on behalf of our client, David Burke, who's in custody.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Burke.
Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman for the people, Your Honor.
Thank you. And counsel, on behalf of your client, do you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement of rights, including armed forces and veterans' rights, enter a plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, and priors?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, unsurprisingly, David and his legal team are entering a plea of not guilty. They are looking to fight the charges. That should not come as a surprise to anyone. This shouldn't be something that has someone's mouth fucking hit the floor, jaw agape, recoil, and fly into the back of their chair like, what? Who could have seen that coming? That is standard procedure. There is no dimension in the multiverse where David was going to come in here fucking representing himself and just be like, yeah, I'm guilty, and I'm sorry, and then hit a fucking power chord on the ukulele. That was never going to be the case. Because if he does plead guilty, he is facing those charges head on, and he might avoid the death penalty, but it's still going to be life in prison. So there was always going to be a not guilty plea entered from David's team here. That is not a shock at all.
So we are asking for a preliminary hearing to be set at the earliest possible date on the 10th day. Your Honor, we believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death. And we would like to be able to have the evidence come.
If he ain't murder her, then who chopped her up and put her in his car? Somebody else chopped her up, put her in his car, and then left it there so he could cook. It's sometimes it's real. Well, it's not funny. There's nothing funny about this situation at all. But it's real interesting to see some of the cases that people try to beat in this judicial system. Like what Charlie just said, of course, it's not surprising that he is trying to plead not guilty, but this is one of those just like, bruh, Like, I can't think of any scenario where he could not be guilty in this. Because if he didn't directly do it, somebody that he knew, that he pretty much told to do, did it. So at the end of the day, whether directly or indirectly, he did it. So what are we talking about here? What evidence do they need?
Into the light of day at the earliest opportunity in order to establish that. We're asking for April 23rd as a 3 of 10, Your Honor.
Anything from the people?
We'll be very happy to put on the evidence that we've collected in this case in the last several months.
Thank you. So the matter will be set.
She
Plea
was
of not
confident.
guilty has been entered on.
So David's team is looking to move lickety-split. They're trying to speed run this process here. They're going for a court any percent gold split, and everyone's willing to play ball here. The other side saying, okay, you know what? We're extremely happy to do that. We would love to showcase the evidence that we've compiled over these 7 months. And what was very surprising is what came after this section.
Given almost no discovery thus far, we've received a 3-page follow-up report, no autopsy report, and a copy of the complaint. And we would ask the people respectfully to produce discovery at the earliest opportunity.
Your Honor, as I indicated to counsel, there's approximately 40 terabytes of discovery in this case. Moreover,
40
in order
terabytes.
to obtain the transcripts from a grand jury investigation, counsel has to file a motion. She knows the way the system works. I'm not able to gather those. They have to be provided after the court orders them released because it was an investigation. Second of all, if counsel plans on going to a preliminary hearing within the 10 days, it is unlikely that there will be very much discovery provided within that period, given the voluminous nature and how long it's going to take to copy onto drives.
40 fucking terabytes of evidence they have gathered against David from the sound of things. That is an unfathomable amount. Now, the way that that information just came out, the chess pieces that got set up on the board here were David's team made a mention of the discovery, or lack thereof, that they were unsatisfied really with where discovery was there. So then it was mentioned, well, discovery is going to be kind of hard here because of how much volume there is. 40 terabytes, and you're looking to set up a preliminary hearing within such a short time frame. It's going to be extremely difficult for us to get all of that information to you for this discovery. And also, they made a reference to discovery with like the grand jury. Can't really do anything about that. That needs to come from a court order. But the shocking piece of information there was how much evidence they seemingly have against David here from their investigation. 40 terabytes is a ridiculous amount of anything in.
Well, let's put it this way. My computer has 2 terabytes of storage on it, available. And then I have I think 1 or 2 terabyte hard drive that I also use. I got a bunch of other hard drives too, but this is what I mainly use. So that's 4 terabytes for all of my stuff. They have 10 times that on just evidence. If you got 40 terabytes of evidence on me, bro, skip the trial, bro. I lost. Like, come on, man.
General. So that's a lot. That really is a lot. That caught me by surprise, because there's a lot of evidence out there available to the public in this case about David and everything here. But 40 terabytes is more than I would have possibly envisioned for this. So anyway, it looks like they're going to be moving this along very fast. So I guess we'll be getting more and more information pretty quickly. I just wanted to give you the update to things now that the charges are out there. And again, personally, I feel David is definitely guilty in the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I think all of the evidence points.
Man, lock this man under the jail, bro. You know he did it. Hold on, let me see if I can find those lyrics. Oh, that's right. The name is called Celeste. My goodness. Look, I love you so much. And yeah, sure, people try to be like, oh, he just loves her as a friend. No, it's not as a friend. Shut up. But you only open up when you get high. Okay, so he's getting high with this little girl. The girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Tattoos. They got matching tattoos. I'm definitely not going to try to find the one on her chest, but there is one that is on her hand. Let me see if I can get that. I think there it goes. Yeah, yep. So let's see. If you see this, his hand tattoo is right there. Hers is right here. So they both have matching tattoos on their hands, bro. Even though that's not technically illegal, if a grown man is getting matching tattoos with a 13 or 14-year-old, bro, not approved. Not approved. But see, this is where we at now. So now he's facing either up to life in prison or the death penalty. And honestly, give him that. Give him that. Because it's already bad enough and evil that he was in a romantic relationship with this young lady. But then the whole freaking violence and stabbing her, you know how personal it is to like stab somebody with a sharp object, most likely a knife. Like if you shoot somebody, that can be impersonal to an extent. But to stab somebody, you up close and personal on them, physically touching them. Like, nah, none of this is approved. None of this is approved. This is all bad. Lock them up. Lock them up. And it took them 7 months to even get here. But at least we got him in jail. At least he's arrested, and at least he's being charged. So we're going to see what the courts do. And it looks like they're trying to move this pretty fast. So we're going to see what happens. There's probably going to be an update hopefully soon within the next few days. And we're going to see if this guy actually gets justice, or at least the right amount of justice. But yeah, that's really all I got from this. Let me know what y'all think on this topic. What are y'all thoughts to y'all? Well, I'm pretty sure y'all think he's guilty. But yeah, just give me your thoughts on this. I want to hear what y'all think about this. That's all for now. Till next time, stay blessed, y'all. Peace.